Welcome to the Crossroads Podcast.
So you saying the picture itself ain't a big deal. It's the money for you.
It's the money for me. But also, I mean, you guys are different in that way, right? Like, even when we talk about cheating, you guys more times than not will not forgive cheating. So yeah, some woman in a picture with Chris Brown straddling, he's picking her up, straddling him is likely a deal breaker for you. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't elicit feelings, but I guess I'm thinking, like, if somebody is engaged, you have decided that this is a person that you want to marry, and they have, this kind of celebrity fever. I can't identify with that like that, because I'm always thinking of the aftermath, like in anything that I'm doing. So I don't even know, like, oh, let me just be lost and jump up in this man's arms. Like, I don't know how you get there. But for me, it's the fact that even before you got there, you swiped your debit card or inserted, input your number and paid $1,500 for 5 seconds with this dude.
So the 15 is a problem. Yeah, 15 is a problem no matter how you slice it. I mean, okay, depending on your tax bracket, but for
the
you people who are discussing this, for the people who are on the internet discussing it, 1,500 is a problem. Let me just say that,
right.
But it's not only that. Okay, so you paid for this, but think about, okay, what do women say all the time? Don't have me out here looking stupid.
Right. This is true. I am women.
And yet, right? What do you think has him like?
So, okay.
And
I'm asking. Does the person not get a pass because it's Chris Brown? Like, would it matter if it was like Chris Jones? Or no,
so because but the thing is, if it was Chris Jones, it would be a problem. So why is it different than Chris Brown? This is why I have a problem, because what you're saying is his celebrity.
I'm asking.
No, yeah, I'm saying.
Okay. I'm not saying. I'm asking.
Yeah, no. What's being said is that if we're giving a pass because it's Chris Brown, what we're saying is his celebrity is more important than your integrity. If it's not good with Chris Jones, it shouldn't be good with Chris Brown. We don't get to say, but it's Chris Brown. So also what you're saying, if Chris Brown shot his shot, because it's Chris Brown, you should get a pass to do whatever.
I didn't say that at all.
No, you're not. No. I'm saying like, this is like, where are the boundaries because of his celebrity, right?
Okay.
And so some people would be like, oh, if I had an opportunity, right? Girl, this Chris Brown. You wouldn't do that? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Or if Chris Brown was like, hey, I'm trying to see what you talk about. Would you leave me because Chris Brown is shooting the shot? You see, so these are questions. So the thing is, and not only that, you paid $1,500. That's somebody's rent. For a picture, right? So you're already setting a monetary value on this moment, and you may have paid more, right? And then this is what you do. Like, it's your fantasy was more important than my integrity, right? Now let's just say because I think one of the memes said like the guy bought the ticket, so maybe it was like,
I think one of them I saw,
like, maybe. So if it's like, oh, a backstage pass that came with the ticket, like the whole ticket was $1,500 and that came with it, that's a little different than just paying. You got a ticket and then you paid an additional $1,500 for this photo op,
this moment.
Now the pose is still no, right? But the monetary part, it gets a little different if like, hey, this came with it, right? But also, not only is this a fantasy because of the way you pose. This wasn't like the prom pose. This was like, oh, I'm giving him a hug. Like, you straddling this dude, he cupping the cheeks. Right? So let's just say if I were to take a picture with Beyonce or Alicia Keys and she grabbed me in the crotch, and I'm like, is that cool?
No, I didn't say either was cool.
So for the purpose of the show, we know Beyonce would never. Right. But we're just talking about level of celebrity.
I'm laughing at Beyonce would never, but we didn't say Alicia Keys. I mean,
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, but what I mean, so Granted, there might be some women that might be cool with it because it's Beyonce and they bigger Beyonce fans. Like, oh,
Right,
Beyonce.
exactly. They'd be like, "Oh my God, Beyonce, grab my man."
Exactly. Like, you can never wash it. I need to touch the penis that Beyonce touched. What I mean, you got them super fans, but what I'm saying, is it cool for me? Is it cool for me if like take a picture with Meg and she all bent over or what? Is that cool?
Yeah.
You feel me?
No,
So do we keep that
no.
same interview?
Yeah, so right. We need to say no, it's not cool for those of us who are talking about this this situation. I think I was more so wondering, like, do you blow up your household or your potential household for something like this, right?
Yeah.
And
I think that's about what you value. I think your value system comes in because I can't say that they're wrong because clearly that had to do with their value system.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, to be like, not only am I breaking up with you, but I'm about to put this on the internet, so now everybody's talking about it.
Now, because there could be some that say, "Oh, I can get the 1,500. That's nothing. I can get that back. Well, I'll make 1,500 again." You can't take that picture back. That's out in the metaverse, homie. You know what I'm saying? That's on Al Gore's internet.
And you got to really think about it. So #Boo took me to see Boyz II Men. He's taken me to see them a couple of times now, but the first time he took me, and you know, he was aware, huge fan that I am, and particularly of Wanye. And so, you know, we're having a good time at the concert. And so there's and this is pre-COVID too. So before you know, the end of the concert, they come down with the roses. They're all in the aisles and they're singing. Folks is like running from every which way to get to where they are. And so, yeah, there's a moment I'm sitting there like, yeah, I'm cool. Like this man bought tickets. I'm not about to be acting like 15-year-old. First of all, I'm not going to act like 15-year-old Andrea. Second of all, that might make him feel a particular way. So I just, you know, I just sat in my seat and he was like, "You better go on and get your hug or whatever." Right. So that's the only reason I got up, but I kept it real cute, came back to my seat and sat down. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I am always thinking ahead, like what could this really, because I mean, of course I wasn't about to jump up and straddle him, but even, you know, the thought of like rushing toward this man while I'm sitting with my actual man, like that might not necessarily feel good. Or how would I feel if that was, you know, in the reverse?
Because you have to ask yourself, what are you a fan of, right? And you can simultaneously be a fan of their music, but then you say, well, why am I a fan of Wanye? Is it because he's the best singer? Or no, I get it, but people have, you know, so then it's like, hey, if I like his singing, then what do I need a rose and a hug for? Right? I can just, I'm here listening to him sing. What more do I need? Right. And so, like, back to like the Chris Brown or like Meg Thee Stallion, like, this is not a knock on Meg, but I don't know her music. I don't listen to it. That's not to me, you know. I don't worry about Meg knees and all the stuff I just don't know it. Right. So if I'm taking a picture with Meg, why am I taking that picture? Just because she's a celebrity, or because she's known for being fine?
Or you could just say because I met Meg.
Right, but why do I care if I don't even know?
Oh, as somebody who doesn't know her music. Is that what you're saying?
Right. So like I know Meg, I know she's an artist, but I don't listen to her, you know, musically. Well, so what other reason would there be to, hey, I want to capture this moment outside of she fine. But also, if she wasn't a celebrity, she wasn't famous, but she fine, I'd likely still want to take a picture with her as a single man, right?
Right.
So these are things we take in consideration. So if Chris Brown weren't a celebrity, would you still want to take a picture like that? Right? And if you would, I mean, that's still a problem, but is it Chris Brown and you're like, are you attracted because, I mean, are you a fan of just his music, or are you attracted, or does his music make him attractive? What makes you jump and straddle him and allow him to grab your butt and take a picture and it goes viral and you had to post it? He wouldn't know I'm posting it. You posted it.
Yeah. That's a good discussion on fanship, I guess, in general. Like,
because when Chris Brown came out,
well, he was like, well, to the mainstream, he was like 15 or something like that. And we were already very, very grown. So I don't even look at him like that. And especially now, he's like covered with tattoos from top to bottom. I'm like, that's not attractive to me. So I'd see him outside and be like, oh, that's Chris Brown. I don't have that kind of feeling. But it's serious. Like, people out here,
I mean,
which is the reason why he can charge $1,500 to take a picture.
Right. But he's within 10 years, right? So, you know, I met him when he first came. Remember, I was supposed to do the Grammys with him on his second project or whatnot, after we did the Grammys with Kanye. So I met him, and that's when he was like, oh, I want to do something next year, blah, 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 blah. You know, I got the pictures, I'll send you. But that's when he was a teenager, just couldn't keep still. Like he's literally having a conversation while he's dead. Yeah. Like he was a teen, you know what I'm saying? But then, you know, he grows up, and so now he's a sex symbol now. I get it. Women dig him, right? But that's the part that makes me question the picture. You see what I'm saying? What's more important to you? This fantasy, you know, of this, it's like it's giving you access to somebody that you would likely take a shot at instead of me. That's what the feeling becomes.
But does she have a shot, and does that matter, right? Like,
or it doesn't matter.
Is it all about if you could, you would, and perhaps she's thinking, I know it's not going beyond this.
Okay, so but if he wanted to, would you? That would be the question.
So that is enough to blow up your relationship or your, and in this case, I think it was two people that were engaged, not necessarily just like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Okay, all right. So let's use a movie example in there, right? Let's go to The Best Man, right? When Harper had his opportunity with Jordan, Jordan was like, I want to make love to you tonight.
Yes.
He actually went over there.
Yeah.
Right? But he didn't do it.
Because he had gotten beat down.
Had
he not been beat down,
but that
he would have done that.
But you see what I'm saying? So like there's certain things. So we're not leaning on the fact that it didn't happen. He didn't do it.
Clearly he was rewarded in that because he still got the girl. It wasn't like she was like, well, you still went over to the house, and so
I'm saying what I'm saying is not everybody would respond that way, right? I mean, and then it eventually caused problems later, as we saw in final chapters. But what I mean is, does it make it any less wrong because he fully intended on going, like you said, the only reason he didn't is because he had gotten beaten up. And
I'm not saying, I want to make sure I'm clear. I'm not saying these women were right. I'm just asking the question, especially now as a married woman. It's like, everything can't be a deal breaker. If you're talking marriage, unless you want to be that type of person that you just hippity hoppity all whatever. Like, people are going to do things you do not like. It's not even necessarily, straddling somebody. It could be throwing clothes on the floor instead of putting it in the hamper. Like, they're going to do things that you do not like. So I'm just trying to raise the conversation of, could there have been a conversation? And of course, we don't know all the details. Maybe they did talk, and she was like, yeah, I did it. I'd do it again. I mean, I don't know.
She did say that. Well, I think it was two different pictures, and one of them literally said, I would do it again.
Yeah. So then that might be different, right?
Right. But I hear what you're saying, and I agree. But also, we just can't discount the fact that there is no template, and because people's moral compass varies, right? What someone values, someone's past, there's just a myriad of things that come into play. Hey, it looked like this happened to me. We've talked about this, or maybe you don't, or whatever. But the average person, and I know I do, and there's things that I have to fix, that if this looks like that, it's a no. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that just comes, like, traumas come into play. So and I'm not saying that you're saying this, but there is no template to, should this be enough to break up? For some, absolutely. For some, it's like, it's just a picture. It's Chris Brown. I'd have straddled Chris Brown. Like, you got somebody say something stupid, right? Or if I'm stupid enough, like, so we straddling Chris Brown, bet, right? How do you feel if I do it? You see what I'm saying? How would you feel if I went and took a suspect picture with some dude celebrity. Would you leave me? Because it's sus now, and now you questioning my sexuality. I thought it was just a picture, right? So when you add certain layers to the conversation, it changes, right? Why is it different? You know. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, it comes down to that couple and then each person as an individual with, you know, what are the limits, you know, and when we talk protection, we need to protect one another. We often talk men protecting women, and that's usually talking about physical protection, but there's also a level of emotional and spiritual and mental protection, but we also need that. And while you might be just fun and games, oh, it's a celebrity, I would never do nothing with it, it's Chris Brown, I was having a fun picture. Are you protecting me?
That's good.
So
that's good. Keep the same energy. Keep the same ladies. Keep the same.
Exactly.
Hashtag Boo was like, oh, you absolutely. If somebody was hanging off of me and I wasn't performing some sort of search and rescue,
You've done so.
Keep the
all right.
This has been the Crossroads Podcast. And remember, be free to be you.